we're going to talk about this cool project I just did, okay? It is... Sorry, I don't mean to talk to you like you're a 3-year-old. I don't know. I'm tired. Don't... Just let it go. Yes, or... Yes. Yes. Wow. Yeah, I am. So, I made a desk. Okay, let's do that. Hold up. Let's review, shall we? Way back in the Wayback Machine. This is the project I did. Well, hi there, Mr. Pallet with 20 less pounds or whatever the heck you were, riding all that bicycle. So this is the desk that I made for the kids way back. Here we go. Oh man, look at those old PCs. Look, Mom, no cables. Yeah, well, I'll show you No Cables 2.0 here in a minute. So, this is how it's set up. And we had it this way for a while. So it had a couple totes here on the one side. It had the printer. I had to put the printer on top. I just used pallet wood. This is all bumpy though, and actually it turned out really, really hard to put. I mean, mouse pad would go on there, but it was kind of wavy and stuff. All right, Rosie, no worries. Yeah, I'm trying. Yes, Gary. Yes, Gary's here. Gary from 4E. No, Gary is the garage. Sorry, this is the first desk I did, right? So, okay, we're done with that. We're done, pallet. Okay, let's go back to here. Okay, so yes, this is my partially done garage. Yeah. So here's the deal. Here's what happened. Okay, you ready? I went up with my wife. We went out shopping, and we were going to get some stuff. We had to grab a couple things from Lowe's, so we stopped by Lowe's. We went in there, and I was like, yeah, I'd really like to make this desk. I was like, but yeah, look at all this lumber, and look how much it is. And I was kind of looking, kind of complaining about the price. And we walked by this rack of wood that was all 50% off. And actually, my wife saw it and said, hey, what about this piece? And I went back to look at it, and I was like, wow, that is a really nice piece of plywood. And long story short, it was originally like a $65 piece of plywood, had lots of plies, ready to paint, so very nice external surfaces. The only weird part is that it had been cut, about 13 inches cut, but the piece was there. Somebody had done a cut and maybe didn't purchase it or whatever. But that was perfect because that was the only way it was going to fit in our car. So, 50% off of a $65 piece was really nice. And then we got looking at the stack, and there was like a bunch. There were several 2x6s, 2x10s. So I grabbed 3 or 4 2x6s. I grabbed a 2x10, and I was like, I think this is enough to do it. I said, I think I can kind of cut these down or whatever. So brought them home. I got some stain polyurethane mixture, and later I had to pick up a couple other little pieces, but basically got everything in that go. And yeah, I went to town, and here's what I did. So, I had to get some screws. So yeah, there was like a 13-inch piece, and then I cut it to the length or the width I needed it. And we got that cut, and then I started to go to town. I tried to lay these boards out. They didn't really straighten out. You can see the bow in one of these really bad, but most of the bits that I was doing were pretty short. So what I did is I laid out this piece, and then I kind of created a frame. And the hardest part actually was what they call ripping these, and that means cutting these like long ways. Very hard on a table saw, especially a cheap one. But I got it done. I had to do half on one side, half on the other. It was a little rough, but we got to it. So I got some pieces cut. I started getting the framework done, and this piece of plywood is so solid and stiff. I mean, it didn't bow or anything. It was really nice to work with. 3/4 inch. Anyway, So got the 2x pieces cut. I cut all these. I kind of drew everything on the back of the board, which was actually very helpful. And this table saw is, I'm very grateful for it, but it's kind of cheap, so I sometimes have to shore up the guide, because the guide gets it goes off and then it still doesn't cut very straight, but oh well. But yeah, I started planning everything out. I drew it out, measured it out. Very, very helpful. Got most of these pieces, so I got the cross pieces for this way. What I didn't want to do, what I did last time, is I ran beams this way, and then I couldn't get the top of the desk low enough, and it was rough. Exactly like that. The design isn't bad as long as it's built with enough quality, but this one's bad. The guide is misguided at times. Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. There's a lesson in there somewhere. So at any rate, I got all these done, and what I decided to use is to do pocket holes. Let me see. Well, this isn't going to really help. Just keep going through the slideshow, I guess. I had some carpenter's glue as well, adhesive. So I don't know if you're familiar with pocket holes, but basically they cut like an angle hole, and you can set them up to be used for 3/4, so they'll never go through your surface. So it was great. I pocket holed all of these, pocket holed all of the legs as well, and I'll show you what else I did here in a second. Glued everything as well. It's actually very solid. What did I do here? I don't even know. What was it? What are we doing here, Palette? What are you doing? Oh, so this is what I did. Check this out. Check this out. So I learned this trick on YouTube. Take a board, cut it, leave the edge of your blade up just a little bit. Tiny bit showing. Watch this. Pocket holes so fancy. Yes, pocket holes are great. Look at this. Look at that angle. Look at that cool design right there. You like that? Oh yeah, that was great. So that was my idea. Yeah, very nice hack. I did that on every single board. Every single one. All the legs, all the beams. I didn't do it on the upper side because I wanted to have a good gluing surface, but I did it on the lower side. Pretty much any visible edge was angled like that. It was a bit of a bear to sand, but it wasn't that bad. I was able to get to it eventually, but I was very proud of myself. I've done this kind of thing before, but not in this kind of project, so that was cool. Then what do we do here? We've sanded. What are we doing here, Palette? Is this a picture? Yeah, this is a video. Where's our hello? Where's our tools? I don't see tools. Well, I guess we're gonna watch the whole darn thing, and I don't even know how big the thing is. Maybe we have to do this to get our tools back? Bruh. What are you doing? Oh, there we go. Okay, we got tools back. Okay. So then I use it. My orbital sander. Can't talk. Wasn't too bad. Most of the wood was actually pretty good. A few knots, but I like a little character in my work, so I don't really care. Yep, did all that. Do all the edges. Oh, I did all the angles on the edges too. Check that out. I thought that was pretty cool. So, yeah, the four edges, and then it kind of comes. You just do all the end of the edges, and pretty good. I thought it was cool. So I got that done, and then it was pocket hole time. Yeah, see all the pocket holes. So one tricky part was this long beam. Of course, these boards were so crooked. It took me a long time to actually get a straight line. Eventually, I just had to eye it up, and I had to keep shaving off a little bit with I started with my circular saw, and then I had to use my table saw, and it was a bear. So this beam actually gets thicker in the middle. It's bowed on the lower, like it looks bowed, or it looks, rounded. But this side, I got as level as I could get it, or as straight as I could get it, so that it would sit flush. Otherwise, it was never going to sit up against that, or it was going to bow the whole table. That's right. Each of those boards, those 2x6s, were normally like $8 or $9. Got them for like $3 or $4 a piece. It's plum. That's right. That's right. Yep. So yeah, went to town. Pocket holes. Everything had pocket holes. Everything was glued. Pocket holes. I screwed screws in from the edges. I screwed screws in from the ends. Each one of these little support beams have screws on the ends. They have pocket holes with glue. This thing was solid as heck. Now, I don't know if any of you folks could tell me what kind of wood this is. I thought it was just pine, because most of that lumber is pine, but I'm wondering if it's some sort of yellow pine, because it's definitely harder. It didn't feel like it was heavy enough to be like oak, but I don't know. I mean, this looks like pine, right? I don't even know. It felt heavier than pine. Just white pine, anyways. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like pine. Maybe it's just the fact that it was a 2x6. Maybe it's a little... it's wood. That's right. Yeah, I don't know. It seemed a little harder, though, than normal, which was good, because you certainly don't want to... You don't want to have a super soft material, obviously, to get kicked around. Yeah, maybe so. An order tree. Could be green. Yeah, it could be just green. Yeah. That's true. It might shrink up after a while. Oh, well. Ah, you're right. Excess warping. That's very, very possible. Would you know if it wasn't? Probably not. But I like that pun. Anyway, so I had to put my file here. We were sliding a big filing cabinet under here, so I drew that. But yeah, pocket holes. This isn't a... Nope. It's not a video. Did I get a... I think I got a video of my pocket holes being done. I think so. There's the leg starting to go up. That was cool. Ah, here we go. We got some pocket hole action. All right, here we go. Hard work. Yeah, I'm thinking. My brain's not working. Let's go. Speed it up a little bit, pal. Let's get to the point where you actually do the pocket holes, okay? First of all, you clamp it. Wood desk again. That's great. Come on, pal. I know it's hard. Okay, so what you do is you clamp that in place where you want it to go. Obviously, your pocket hole, you want this side to be up against your surface. So you get this, you set this collar so it stops it. Unlike the one time, and I drilled through the little stopper thing down here. It has a little hole in it now. Oh well. I wondered where the plastic little wood chips came from. Drill is just out of sight. I know. Oh, because you guys are seeing my camera. My bad. Well, is it okay now? Yeah. Face cam was covering. My bad. Okay. I think you can see it now. Should be good. Yeah, okay. All right, and there you go. Yeah, I was explaining it, and you couldn't see it. Yeah, there's a little collar there. Little collar right there. And there we go. Pocket holes. Bada boom, bada bang. I usually took the sander over it just to make sure I sanded off the edge. Let's see. What else was I doing? I was just eyeing it up. Oh, yeah. There we go. Let's do a satisfying caulking bead of Carpenter's adhesive, shall we? Right? Yep. Here we go. Here we go, palette. Little... It's not really AMSR. I'm not going to try. I'm too tired. You guys know what I'm talking about. There you go. Oh, yeah. This stuff's great. This doesn't keep oozing out of the caulking gun, which is so annoying with most other caulking. It just keeps coming out like, ugh. It's annoying. This doesn't. Don't mind that little lip there. I never did get rid of it, and it ended up not really causing me any trouble when you can't see it. So, yeah. Number one rule of building a desk: don't sweat the things you're never going to see, because that's stupid. Oh, I know what I did here. Did I change the camera? You can't see me actually drilling it into the little holes, but I do. And then we just drilled a side. We put screws into everything. Dun. Yeah, you guys know what's up. And I put the legs up, screwed them in. I did pocket holes. I screwed them from the side, screwed them in from the back. Did the whole thing. Okay, so here we go. Here we've got some pocket hole action here now. I think so. Oh, that's right. We did the pocket holes on the ends. Yep. You guys saw that. 2 pocket holes. Boom. Lots of lovely sawdust. We got to blow out of there. Get it out of there, pal. Yep, there you go. Blow it off the table. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Now, sometimes I use the clamp. I don't know why I didn't this time, but a lot of times I clamp these. But if you don't allow it to get a solid connection on the end, sometimes it's not as nice. Like, even though it flexes a little bit once you screw it in from the side and kind of cinch those together, I think it still helps to have a solid, connection here at the 2 ends. So, and not everything was probably super square, but it worked. And the drill's still in the way. I mean, you're going to see a pocket hole as much as you're going to see. Oh, there you go. Pocket hole as much as you can see a pocket hole. They're nifty. They are a nifty bit of woodworking. Yep, now screws in from the other side. There we go. Do. Old man pallet there. Going to town. All right, there's that. Boom. Okay, it looks like we went to 0 to 100. Sheesh. Yeah, I finished it up, and I guess the thing was, what are we doing here? Why are we getting flickering? That's weird. It's probably Windows Media Player because it's so funky. Yeah, we're good now. That was weird. I've been doing 50% of it. I know, right? So basically, the other thing I did is I took it and it brought in the house, and that was why I didn't video it, because it was just, I was trying to work hard and get it done. So basically, I put 1 layer of polyurethane stain on the bottom, and then 2 layers on the top surfaces. I'll explain these holes in a minute. So I did cut some angles. Had some external screws showing. This is the part where you walk in the door at the house, so it's a little weird. I was really proud of my printer shelf, though, because I worked very hard. Not that it was super laborious. It was just, a little technical to make sure it was the exact size and everything, because I wanted to give them more space up top. I know, it does look really nice. It really turned out well. The color of the polyurethane and the stain was like an oak color, and kind of has a little bit of that, almost a little bit of a maybe reddish tint-ish. This is outside. Inside it looks a little bit, maybe a little more even tan, but it really turned out nice. Now the edgings were rough because once again I had all that bowed lumber, so I had to cut some shorter pieces. And of course, a shorter piece you have when you have a big bow on a board, the less likely you are to get the bow. I sanded it down some, but I did booger up the top a little bit here and there. I'll show you some mistakes. When I flipped it up the one time in the garage, just back here got a little weird. Now, there's a nasty picture of it later where you can see it, and it is nasty. But okay, so after I got this done, I got 1 coat on. I went up to the store and I looked and looked and looked. I'm like, how am I gonna get rid of those cables? Because I didn't want to just stuff everything behind, because it looks so, I don't know, it just looks trashy to me. I don't like it. I don't like cables stuffed in behind, tables and desks. So I finally settled on these 2-inch metal pipe flanges. And I came back home, I took my jigsaw, and I drilled a couple holes and then just cut around, and then took my my Dremel, and I just Dremeled the hole out to a point where these would fit down in it, because there's not much of a lip. Once again, I did nick the top again. My poor wife, I boogered up her side really bad, but you can't really see any of it because most of it's covered up anyways, which you'll see a little bit later. But yeah, there's the printer top. It wasn't perfect. When you sand it, if you get with this type of plywood, it's like they put this coating on it, I think, and they sand it really nice so you can paint it. When you get into that a little bit, it kind of darkens it. So I don't know. I should have been a little more careful. But I had a big lip here, so I was trying to sand that down, and I got into the sand. But once again, that's fully covered. You don't really notice it. I really liked how these angles turned out. Thought they looked good. And once again, not perfect, but it was several notches above of what I did before, for sure. So that was the whole thing. It was like, all right, I'm doing better than I did. I really like the combination of all these nice little angles like I did, and I'm happy with that. In the back, I didn't really worry about trying to polyurethane this lip here. I didn't want a bunch of stuff dripping, you know? So I just didn't fight with it. I just did everything else. I did the back and everything, but then when I did the top, I just forget it. It's just wood burnt. It's an artistic choice, which makes it perfect. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, it's not bad. These holes did turn out really, really nice though, and I'll show you later with the cables. This was a good idea. I was trying some other pipes. Flanges are harder to come by than I thought, but this turned out to be the 2-inch size was perfect. Allowed me to put enough cables in, even the side with speakers, and turned out. But yeah, I really boogered this up. This edge caught on something when I went to flip it up on the sawhorses. On another piece of wood, it really gouged it. Once again, this is all behind stuff. You don't see it, but still, isn't it a little disappointing? But oh well. And there it is, all installed. There's Pallet Sun's new rig. There she blows. There she blows. Our floor needs resurfaced really, really bad. Well, everything needs done. Walls need painted, trim, new trim. This paneling is garbage, and it just kind of falls apart after a while, especially this trim. This is like foam trim. But oh well, kids are rough on stuff anyways. Yeah, we got it done. There we go. Pallet Sun was over the moon. I had to paint the stand for this, so the stand on the mic isn't there, but he is all ready to rock and roll. He is so happy. Now, my son has this little logo. It's the annul symbol, and he kind of has a little play on words he calls the annulinator. So that's kind of like one of his usernames or whatever. So I took a piece of plywood and I sanded it down, painted it black, and then I painted that logo on there for him. Yeah. Fit in that printer. I know, right? That's what and you know what's so cool about this printer? Is you can't, I made a little lip on the back, so when you push on it, it doesn't slide off the back. It doesn't slide side to side. The only way it would slide off is if you pulled it out, which, when you may need to bring it, out a little farther to work on it or something, look in it, get something out of it. So I was very proud of myself. Yeah. Well, you can hold on to it too when you pull the drawer out to put paper in it. You can kind of control what happens in the front. It's almost impossible to control what happens in the back. So I was very proud of how that all turned out and how I got everything measured up, and that was really cool. But yeah, her speakers fit nice. Now look at that. Now this is a mess. I told my son, I said, hey, and I just didn't get this done today. I was like, if I do a holder for your headset, I was like, do you want to put it underneath? And he did say he probably would, but that's future. I'll have to figure that out. Thank you, computer. Thank you very much. All right, we're not done yet. We got a couple more things to show you. So once again, yeah, these 3 red fans really just set this whole thing off. It looks really super cool. He of course, his annulinator, his whole logo and everything is all very black and red. So this was his dream machine. This graphics card is literally virtually twice as powerful as his old one. Probably the processor is as well. Maybe not twice, but it's a good bit more powerful. He was coming from an AMD 1600X, and we took him to the Ryzen 7 3700X. So that's a pretty big jump. But yeah, then he went from a 5600 XT GPU up to this 6750 XT. Just really nice build, the way that all came together. I'm just very, very pleased. He just thanked me over and over again. He was very grateful and loved it. This cable management, though, I'm actually very happy with. Normally, I'm not happy with any cable management, but here's my secret. I built these little like trays, and I just put everything nicely. If you can see it here, I basically kind of, you know, little Velcro and everything. I just kind of nicely. Once again, this is like this one cable, so don't look at that. And I can't really show you over there because I didn't get a good picture of it. But everything is really nice and clean down into the hole. And then under there, I just built these little like little shelves. I've got the idea from some YouTubers that they buy plastic ones off of Amazon. Silence and shame. Listen, it's really easy. You just there's these little things like this on Amazon that you buy. And I'm telling you what, all you do is just stuff them all in there. It really doesn't matter. Look at this. This is like cable heckery down here. Now, one thing I did do, if you look, well, I think I took some pictures. Yeah, here we go. All right, so one thing I did do like a year or two ago on the other thing, the other desk I had here, and also don't look underneath the desk because it's terrible, because this is where all the crap fell, and I didn't care because no one would see it. But you see this long strip, so I installed that first. That obviously keeps everything nice and spaced. But then, yeah, I built these little nooks. And man, I just jammed it all in there. This is what the desk and floor is for, right? Yes, that's right. I'm gonna do it. You should. Yeah, totally. Amazon. Yeah, no one will see it. That's right. It's like my motto. Just gonna tell people my eyes are up here. Yeah, that's right. This was very cool. I was very happy with how this turned out, because cable management, I hate it when it's wrong. I really do. Show a slideshow also. Yeah. But there it is. There it is, ladies and gents. Desk is all done. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. There you go.